Hello, everyone. This is Financial Griot, podcast.
I got the name of our podcast.
Yeah, we don't say the name often enough. So essentially, my name is Lovely Mardellis. I'm joined with Judgy Lawrence today. Judgy Lawrence. And
wow, why the judgment towards me? Like Judgy Lawrence, like you're not judging me. Yeah,
Judgy Lawrence, I don't know what. Let me see, Alana. Let me see what I can call you to make it even out.
Judgy adjacent.
Judgy adjacent, Alana. But no, in all seriousness, though, Lawrence is out here being a landlord today, and Atlanta is living her South Florida sunny life, being the best that she can be. And so probably, got a date plan, coming up or something like that.
I wish. I have no car.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the whole car situation. Oh, okay. Atlanta's going to be home like me today. So let's get this episode started. You guys can introduce yourselves, more properly, not the ratchetness that I just said.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for turning into another episode of TFG. Well, I need to say it more often now, the Financial Griot. I'm just so used to placing everything on acronyms, but we are here. I am one of the three co-hosts, Atlanta Ellison. Thanks again for tuning in.
Yes, I am the third one, the level-headed one, the balanced one, the person that tells you all the good stuff, and the other people are a little bit
lower
toxic,
your tone doesn't make it any more serious. You try to sound all in tune and stuff.
Hey, I'm trying to be very professional here. All right, so. With that being said, I'm in Tallahassee. I'm actually welcoming a lot of the new tenants and they're moving in. So if you hear me go off of mic, just know that I'm actually getting some work done. Unlike the other people that's kind of goofing off, I'm very happy to be here for everybody at the Financial Griot. I say it all the time and I don't ever mess it up. So ultimately, you could find us. We're going to be at FinCon next month. So that's going to be amazing. So if you ever heard of FinCon, it's like a convention of all the money nerds. They come together, people that are financial, podcasters, writers, bloggers, so on and so forth. People that made a lot of good money and a lot of people from the FIRE movement, to financial independence, retire early. So it's going to be a good opportunity for us to kind of network, see what they do and kind of steal some of their ideas so we could bring it back to you so you can listen to it and we could take credit for it ourselves. With that being said, I'll pass it back over to Lovely, who was in the mid-rant about her life.
So
spending money.
This is why the introduction was Judgy Lawrence. You see how much judgment was in that introduction? He never gets it wrong. Out here, professional. See, exactly. So the name sticks. No, I was talking to Atlanta and Lawrence because they think that I'm out here spending money like I am P. Diddy, that I'm in the club, popping bottles, combs all out, all that stuff. And I'm actually a very conservative spender. What I do is that I have things that are what I call things that are my primary, this is going to be what I need, because from 18 to 27, like when you quote unquote, like college age up until 27, I've always lived with family. I've always lived with, first, of course, my mom. And then I spent, when my uncle got cancer, I spent many years living with him. And I was probably spending maybe $500 a month while I was doing that. So that afforded a different type of outlook of life for me. So I am not a cha-cha spender. Now, my Instagram videos are for entertainment. So what I mean by entertainment is that I like to create aesthetically pleasing things because it allows me to give a creative outlook. Now, some people have seen these videos and associated them with she must be out here spending. Point blank, yesterday, I went to Trader Joe's, and you want to know how much money I spent at Trader Joe's? $40. And then you know how much money I spent in BJ's that day? $50. I was 90. So I had $100 that I needed to spend. I was under budget because I'm a very conservative spender. Now there's a big bulk shop that we do in the middle of the month for like groceries and resets. I go to BJ's so I can get my things in bulk so they can last longer. I'm very conservative. I am not the person. I don't order things from Fashion Nova, Shein, all these other things. I don't have packages showing up to my house every other week. I don't got all of that going on. I'm very conservative. I choose to invest my time and energy in learning more about tech companies, trying to become an angel investor eventually. I have all these very specific outlooks that I'm doing. The only thing that I have overextended myself is investment in business, which in fact is positioned for something else. So that I doubled down on. But in my lifestyle, I'm heavily conservative. If you see me in Delta Comfort, know that it's my points that are putting me in first class in comfort, okay? It is not me dishing out the funds. I use points. And by the way, certain points and money kickbacks have allowed you to live a lifestyle that you want. It may look like to other people that you're spending money, but it's called hacking.
So you spend on quality and what you value.
Yes. So so for me, who hurt me? You, Lawrence, always thinking that I'm out here spending these monies and lifestyle.
Lawrence hurt me.
Who hurt you out here?
Lawrence.
With this judgment.
So I'm really very like, okay, like if you do see me go out in a restaurant, know that time, yes, it's going to be pristine because I don't go out all the time. Like, I don't remember, since I've been back, I was down in Florida to take care of some family things. And I came back, one of my friends took me out and she treated me. You saw it, but I was not here to like dishing the things. But when I do go out, I choose to go out to quality things. So you're not going to catch me just doing fast food just for fun. You're not going to catch me like, oh, I'm just going to go pick up a coffee from Starbucks. No dice, by the way. Like if you drink Starbucks coffee every day, that's to you. But I'm just saying that for me, I choose a lot of quality. I love quality food. So you're going to see me in the farmer's market. I love taking care of my health. Like one of the things here, for example, the gyms, because I live like out just about 20 minutes outside of Boston, it allows me, there's like not like those mass produced gyms. So there's literally like more so like community type of things. And they're a lot more expensive, but our community has a gym. So guess what I do? I use it. I don't spend those extra dollars. So I'm saying this to say, how is that helpful? You just heard Lovely just rant for 5 minutes. How's that helpful to you? Instagram is a place to tell stories. It is a place to share things. What may look like one thing is not necessarily that, because you're getting a glimpse of my life based off of 20, sometimes 7-8 seconds of videos. That is not necessarily the full picture, because I am conservative in my spending because I have goals. I have things that I want to accomplish. I've made errors. I'm always looking to correct my errors, whether that's in business, whether that's my professional life, whether other things. I'm always looking to give myself a competitive edge. So the one thing I decided to invest in this year that's going to cost me about $15,000, $20,000 is my MBA. But you know why I did that? There was a class that I wanted to take, a trainer that I wanted to train with, and her prices were $15,000, which I don't think is bad. I just realized that, well, if I'm going to spend this much money and I could get an MBA out of it, why not do that instead? So I'm always thinking about different ways and what competitive advantages. So if the only money problem that I have, I'm going to be very clear about it, is I spend way too much money on books. I got too much money in books. If you want to know what line item is always red over budget, like books, BOOKS, books. So if you want to donate some dollars for me to get some books, I'll happily take them, because that's the only thing that I'm like, oh yeah, love, you kind of overdid it. But I've been good for the last 3-4 months. But other than that, I'm not into club popping bottles. I don't got no Gucci, Chanel, Louis V, none of that. I'm just very conservative. I like nice things. I really do. But I also know that nice things have a time to wait, because I'm trying to have 2 children under 24 months. So I want to be like a mom of 2 under 24. So just to let y'all know, I'm going to be saving if it can happen, because I'm not God. So that's one of my plans in the next 2-3 years. So that means that I cannot be spending like crazy. So that's my spiel.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you felt the entire time. Like, all right. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath.
She just brought us in.
I don't know. The audience is looking around like, I don't know why I'm being attacked.
Because Lawrence and Atlanta contacts were attacking me right before this. Judgy talking about I'm out here spending.
That's not true.
I didn't say.
We didn't say all that. I think you were triggered.
Exactly. The silence.
I think you were triggered. I think somebody hurt you in the past.
And then Atlanta was like, girl, it be looking like on your Instagram that you be spending. That's what it looked like. It looked like you felt like you were
triggered by this, and you just, you
I was, I'm gonna give you guys more context. Everybody in my life thinks that I live this super rich lux life. Like
See,
people.
it had nothing to do with us. See how that had nothing to do with us.
No, it had everything to do with y'all. Because I would think you guys would not think that I'm out here being crazy.
Oh, you need therapy. You need therapy. You were putting that on us.
You projecting everything on us right now.
Nah,
and we're just joking.
Do the shadow work.
Would have heard the conversation before because it's making me look like I'm crazy. But y'all know what happened 5 minutes before we recorded this episode, and then they had me stop the recording, so I have no proof. This is what happens. They're like, oh yeah, make sure you stop the recording for the next one. And then they come and attack you and be like, yeah, press play when you rant so you can sound like the crazy one. I see the play. That's okay.
Exactly what a crazy one would say though. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
It's a setup.
I did want to say though, to your point, social media, Instagram is basically a bunch of highlight reels. I know we talk about it a lot and people know it, but it still comes down in the back of your mind. And that's why even Atlanta took like a weird social media break. And maybe that might be a important and available for anybody to do so they could kind of move away from the highlight reels. Another thing that you brought up is that, and I actually guessed it correctly or close enough, that a lot of people typically spend around like $2,000 to $3,000 per month, a lot of millennials on their expenses, total expenses, housing, food, transportation, everything. So it's not hard to know how much people are spending. It's just like a lot of people don't know how much they actually do it. They just kind of spend over and over and over again. Some people overdo it on food, on, being out, catching COVID and monkeypox.
Everything all in above. Credit cards, even if you have a set income, you're offsetting with credit cards. There's just so many things that you're spending on. Yesterday, I stopped at Publix, which is a supermarket here in Florida, and I counted how many items I picked up when I was waiting in line. It was 18 or 19 items, over $100 I spent. So I was just in the line and I was just contemplating, do I really need that Nutella? Probably so, because I haven't had Nutella in whatever time. But all these other like nuances, small things that even though if you're not trying to spend as much, you are spending, right? And you have to. And I think now it's becoming more apparent where we do have to be slightly more cognizant of what we're spending on, and does it really matter on the item? Like, is it really important for you to spend it on? Because I was in that aisle waiting and I was really contemplating, putting some of those things back, right? But $100 doesn't go that far in these supermarkets now. That is what I'm seeing. But you gave a nice rant, Lovely. We're not judging, but we're judging.
They judging. That's what they're doing out here, judging. But I really am very conservative of things because I have these goals, and I think that sometimes, I say to my friends all the time, like people can think that I'm doing this, like, but if you see me, like, let's say you see me purchase a luxury car 5 years from now, know that probably was number 55 on my list, and I've already done all 54. And it's just probably this one-off thing that I'm going to do. But I think about it that way because I do want a beautiful space for my children, like, and my husband. Like, I want us to live in a place that's, peaceful, in a place that is good, that we're happy. And so that means that I offset a lot of things. Like I'm next year, I am going to do like 2 international trips, but I haven't taken one in the last 3 or 4 years, because there's certain things, other things that I wanted to do. And it's always kind of like a give and take, right? Some years I'm doing certain things and other years I'm not doing certain things. So preparing to get a property in Massachusetts, preparing to do other investments in different verticals of business. One of the things that I found out I've been doing my MBA program since May now, and I've been in different classes, and I get the same compliment from every group project that I'm in. And I'm realizing that putting yourself in different environments and different things show you like what are your qualities. And I'm also seeing like my bad habits, right? Like lack of discipline, because I got a paper due on Sunday and I got my outline, but I haven't written the page. Why haven't I written the page yet? And I'm like, okay, Lovely, that's fine. Like, you're going to get it done, but could you have not done it in pieces and make this less stressful on yourself? So I'm also looking at the things that I'm doing good and right. And with finances, always things that I could be doing better. But one of the advantages that I'm looking into is that I do have a lot of like private equity in like tech companies. And because of the market conditions, what ends up happening is if you cash in right now, like essentially you're losing so much value on the stock. So what does that mean? that also means that I'm not going to make a decision to sell the stock just so I can have money to blow. You understand? Like, I'm going to make sure that, okay, this is going to be worth it. This is going to be worth 50% more than likely, because the company is holding, but the market has decreased its value. I could cash in and fix, quote unquote, problems, or just going ahead, being like, yeah, I'm about to do these things, but then I'm literally eating into my plate for tomorrow. I'm eating into my future selves. I'm eating into my children. Like, the last 6 months have literally been me thinking about little faces, like little faces that are going to be looking up to me, that are going to need me to be emotionally healthy, physically healthy, and as well as being able to provide for them. So every decision, and especially the last 6 months, have been towards that goal, because I know that's where I'm heading, right? Like, I know that getting married and starting a family is on the horizon. Now, I don't know if it's like a year from now or 5, but I know it's on the horizon because it's something that's been in my spirit and my desire. So every decision, like, I'm at the gym 3-4 times a week. I'm very proud of myself about this. I'm just letting y'all know this is me putting some shine on myself, right?
Yeah, you mentioned that on your LinkedIn. I'm like, I know you're proud.
Yeah, I'm proud. Okay, everybody gonna know about it, because when y'all see me in 2 years, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, she decked out." Yeah, because this is putting in work. Okay, putting in work every damn day. And I say all this to say, like, life is about improving, right? And don't judge what you see, because you might be like, "Dang, Lovely out here just spending. I need to, go get what she gets." That, like, my fun video that I made with, like, I don't know, like, the Trader Joe's, like, body body butter thing, and it looks so luxurious. That body butter costs $6, baby. I'm not buying the $25 one off of TikTok. I'm not doing it. I support Black businesses, but not that support. I'm not buying it from you. No, I'm not giving you $25 for body scrub, body rub. No, sorry, Bob. And that's fine. But this is the I guess exchanges that I make, like, I care about the food, quality of food. I care about a beautiful space, because the beautiful space to me is not about being in a luxury apartment or getting a luxury home. What I mean by beautiful space is a place that I take care of, a place that I take my time. Like, it looks nice, but like I told you, you guys off whatever, I build each section of the house in different quarters. I wasn't out here like, oh, let me just get everything and spend 5, 6, 7 grand. A lot of my adjacent like creative stuff that looks really nice, like the wallpaper that I always get compliments on, costs us like $40. It's $40 to get it. The dining table was like a couple $100. Now, I will say the breakfast chairs, they were overpriced. I did spend too much on those, but they look so nice, and I could always, take them somewhere else. So I said this to say, like, you see the stuff in the house, like, people on my Instagram are always in my DMs complimenting me on the house. I did not design or interior design it overnight. I get stuff from IKEA. I get little good things from Home Goods. Please don't be out here spending money and then being unhappy, like, just because you saw it looks nice. Like, give yourself time to build whatever you want to build, and don't eat into your future funds. But that's it for my rant. I don't got nothing to say. This was a short, so we could close this conversation, because I just felt like it was very simple. Like, that's
stop judging.
For the judges out there, like,
yeah, you should not close this out though, because see how, like, this weird therapy session, she tried to run away from it. She's like, "Hey," first she projects, and then she kind of like, "Hey, we can wrap this up."
Therapy session with Lovely. I'll write that down right now.
He's like, "Hey, we can wrap this up."
That is, you guys.
I'll say this. I think it's too. Can I say this? Or are you just gonna keep rolling?
Maybe.
Toxicity. Well, for one, I think, there's a couple of things that happen in this conversation. I think it's very important to talk about. Is the idea that there's a lot of pressure that we all are feeling. Either we've been through this whole pandemic for a very long time. There's a lot going on. There's prices are going up. There's also personal pressures that we put on ourselves, or even family pressures as well. So the world is watching, or that's how we feel. And sometimes we end up projecting whatever we felt on the next person. So, we joke with her, and it's fine. Like, we know her, and we know that she means 100% well and all that stuff. And we're going back and forth. But there's some times that people do project their negative emotions up to the people that's closest to them. So just remember where those emotions are coming from, and do not package it and to resell it to somebody else as it's just something brand new. It's not their issue. It's something that you're dealing with somebody else that might have saw you. Because there's some people hit me up too. It's like, "Oh, Lawrence, you seem like you living the life." you're so lucky. I'm like, you don't even know my real life. Like, you don't know who I really am. You don't know what's really going on. And because of the highlight reels, people, they misconstrue the person you are, and they just think that everything is all luxury. I would say this. I read, or I guess I'm still finishing reading that book, The Mother of Black Hollywood, with Jennifer Lewis's story. It's an amazing book.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too much, a little raunchy. There's a little craziness to it, but it's somewhere in between. I'm just like, you know what? This person lived a very like robust life, and I don't think they even know how grateful they should be for the life that they had. That's the way I live my life. So maybe it's just me projecting to other people. That's how they want to live their life. But ultimately, that's one thing that I read. Another thing I read was Cashing Out by the Saunders. I believe they go by Rich and Regular on their social media handle. And sometimes, to be honest, like I could hear some of their like they're begrudgingly talking about financial literacy or their wealth journey. Sometimes, especially the guy, I think his name is Julian Saunders, you could tell that he's very angry about the lack of wealth that he didn't have access to. And I think we're going to see that a lot with a lot of Black millennials that are, I guess, traversing, starting off from nothing, getting a college degree, and still having to battle through what they perceive to be, the world against you. So I could hear it through what he says. Great book still, great stories in there, but you could tell, like, the only thing I'd say to people is like, have goals and just really try not to be unhappy in your journey. I know it's going to be weird and difficult, but just try not to be unhappy. Yeah, my mom don't have any money, but I'm not going to hold that against her like on a grudge. My grandmother didn't leave me anything, but I'm not going to hold that against her as well. They all had to live and run their own journey. They run their own relays. Our parents did not have all the tools. They just didn't. There's no point in blaming them. There's no point in kind of getting mad at them, whatever it is. They try to do the best that they can. And even your spouse or your loved one, they're also trying to do the best that they can as well. Your kids are trying to do the best that they can. Try not to be unhappy in your own journey. Just try not to. It's just too much. I think finally is like, we're going to be juggling multiple things, and it's going to get frustrating, but just know that that's also part of the game. By the time you get that home, when Lovely gets that home, she's gonna sit back and she's gonna make it Instagrammable, and we're gonna all be like, "Oh shoot, this is lit," and I'm gonna judge her again. Like, and then whenever Atlanta get her new car, she's gonna be, whipping wheelies on people. They gotta show out because we just could, but doing some sort of level that you're just enjoying it, but you're not making it as if you're stunting on the next. You're just doing it because, hey, you definitely needed a new car, and it's nice to have the new thing. But don't try to, I guess, find your identity in those things at all. Like, find your identity on the journey of the person that you are becoming. See? More balanced information from Lawrence at all times.
That's a good title. I'm writing it down.
What the? we made Lovely look like a crazy one.
That's fine. It's all right. No, like, I think what Lauren said is so good, because I thought recently that something was wrong with me. And I realized that I have my own issues, but that problem that I thought I had wasn't mine to hold on to, because I don't see it as like, woe is me, the world's against me. I think, again, maybe it's because of my faith, because of different things. I recognize, like, exactly what Lauren said. Our parents didn't have all the tools. You're talking about whether my mom did everything right or not. I got to think about the fact that for her, she had to leave Haiti, leave all her family, leave all that she knows. And I've been to Haiti, right? So I've had the experience to see what it was to get on a boat, to literally, not figuratively, how people be saying like, no, she really got here on a boat, like for real. And to make the sacrifices that she's made for me to be who I am. Like, I don't have any more words but to say thank you. Like, my mom ended up having a stroke when she was like 39 years old, probably because of stress and finances of having to raise 3 kids by herself. And so I could talk about her life decisions. And I made that decision a while back. Like, I could talk about all the things that didn't go right, but it makes me who I am. I'm a kind person because I also know people are dealing with things. So it's rarely ever that you get me jumping down somebody's throat. Even it takes a lot for me to get to that place. There's just so much in life that it's your journey. And I think somebody said that if somebody that looks like you made it, that means that it's not impossible. You know whose story that I always go back to, like always? Madam C.J. Walker. Why?
I thought it was me. I was like, oh, I was like to be honest with you, she was
Everything
going down.
is not about you.
She was going in. I was like, oh, okay. I'll go
Everything
back
is
to
not about
Madam
you.
Chi. I'm like, oh shoot.
No, it's because we do be highlighting Lauren's story for real. He probably really did think like, yeah, because I always do say that.
Madam C. I'm like, that's not the L that I was looking for. Like, this sounds like a M there. It's like,
that was a quick pivot. No, but I always think about her because I'm like, she was the first. I think she was, if I'm not mistaken, the first woman, not even just woman, Black woman, but the first woman to earn $1 million, and to be one of the richest women to have run businesses and stuff like that. But do you know in what time period that Madam C.J. Walker was in? Like, bro, you talk about racism, you talk about a system, you talk about can't survive. Yeah. Madam C.J. Walker would be what we would name, if we were TikToking her right now, the GOAT. Okay? And if she could have done what she did in her era, I have no excuse. I have access to google.com. Do you guys understand the decentralization of investment that has happened in our generation? That you can have something like M1? Do you know that before you had to literally go to a bank to get to do these things and have a financial advisor that may or may not know what they're doing, and also maybe racist and prejudgmental towards you and gear you and tell you that you don't need to do this? Like, the decentralization of investment. Like, even if you never invested in anything and you're listening to this today, understand what access you have. And that is what I'm always telling myself. Like, I was listening to Tim Grover. He's the coach that has coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. He coached D-Wade later on, and he's coached a lot of the athletes to their peak. And he said that winning, if you're afraid of the cost of winning, wait until you see the cost of regret. So you may not want to put the work in now. You may not want to do the things that's going to sacrifice and put you in the next level. When you get to be 60, 70 and you're looking like, dang, you know what I could do? You know what I should have been doing? That regret, that price of that, compared to the price that you need to be being now, do what you want. None of us are going to judge this. Maybe we are, essentially, and live your life. But know that when you get to that other side, you're going to look back and think about all the things you could have been doing and investing in. That is why I'm doubling down. I'm in the season of doubling down health-wise, because I don't want to be 45 saying, well, lovely, you could have been going to the gym. So here you are, your kidneys are failing because you out here couldn't take 30 minutes out your day 4 times a week. You know, like, oh, Whole Foods are expensive. Fruits and vegetables are expensive. So is Louis V. So is Chanel. But it don't seem like y'all got no, nothing to stop those things. So it's always about priorities. So things are going to cost you to be great, to do something. It's going to cost you something. But the reality is, if you don't want to pay it, you pay the price of regret later. Pay the price of having to pay more later. Every time you don't invest in yourself, every time you don't show up for yourself, every time you don't do these things, there is something that's being costly and being taken away from you. And it's up to you. And we say this all the time because we love our community. As much as I know that Lawrence is like, whatever, I know in his heart of hearts, like, he's probably like, I wish you guys understood, but now I don't care if you understood because I've seen the other side. But it's not because he hates the Black community. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lawrence. No, I think he just
strong words.
Right. I don't think. No, I'm just saying. You're always
just went left. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what happened?
No, I'm just saying that all the time that you're always getting these comments. So I'm like, I think people probably think that, Lawrence hates brunching. He hates Black culture because you're always criticizing it, right? So I'm just trying to help you out here, like Lawrence's face. No, but no. In all regards, it's like, hey, we're not trying to say that we dislike our community or we don't want to see it grow or don't want to see it be better. We're saying is that we do have to I think what we want is we want the whole cake. realizing that you have to take things at pieces of the time. I think we want to be the cool kids on the online and do all these things, but in reverse, not realizing that we do actually have to invest in education. We do have to invest in doing and making better decisions. And I think sometimes when there's harsh feedback or criticism, we want to cancel those people. We want to cancel those people and say that, oh, they, like, I think, what is his name? Dave Morrison, that guy that's always like on the streets or something like that. And he's like always getting sued or something. Like, I think that's what his name is. He has like a real estate, whatever. And what you see is when people criticize,
Terrible.
when people
he's
criticize him, people literally saying, oh, you're hating, but like, no, this is not good for the community. This is not good for a community that people are literally spending $25,000 on education or $50,000 on education. And you know, the likeliness of somebody even getting return on investment is very slim to none. So that's not hate. That is correction. That is criticism and feedback that the community needs, because so many people are getting scammed. So many people are getting hurt by these behaviors. So that's why I mentioned it. I'm not saying that we hate the community. I'm just saying that when you do give the criticism, when you do get the feedback, it's like you're a hater, that you are bringing this level of emotion or whatever else, when it's reality is like, no, we need people to speak up to the truth, because what they're trying to tell you is a scam. It's not an easy fix. It's actually for them to have the lifestyle. They make more money off of you buying what they buy than versus the things that they're telling you that they make money from. And that's problematic. So it's just like these things all in all to say, yes, living a lifestyle is cool. The aesthetic lifestyle is cool, but the real win is being at peace with yourself. The real win is going to sleep and knowing that you're not stressed out about everything. The real win is not looking for the affirmation from somebody else, but being okay within yourself. So those are my gifs of today. Yeah, that's how I feel. Alana, you're raising your hands. I didn't understand what that means.
She's wrapping it up. That's all it is.
No, she has to wrap it up because she has to give her final thoughts. I've been speaking for like 20 million.
Said wrap it up. That's all she said. She wrapped
20
it
million
up.
times.
That's that signal. The signal is to wrap it up and not tell people that this is wrapping it up. So I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you for actually being here for another episode of TFG, or the Financial Griot for short. Or the opposite way, for long. But ultimately, we've had a big conversation about, I guess, understanding where we are in that journey and understanding what we're doing to achieve our goals, and to be really honest about it as well. It's going to be difficult. So for myself, you can always find me at www.theneighborhoodfinanceguy.com. You can even Google me, with the quotation marks, and you can actually find me with all the articles I've been featured in recently. They just did an article with me on bankrate.com. So that's what's up. That's amazing. So you're definitely going to find us at FinCon 22 in September. So that's going to be an amazing opportunity for us to connect with other financial nerds and people that be in the space to teach people financial literacy, and to really push financial freedom at the forefront of what you can accomplish in your lifetime. So I know these conversations can seem like they don't have anything to do about money, but they always have everything to do about money. So I'll pass it over to my co-host, Alanta, so she could tell you where she could, where you can find her. English is my third language. I'm just letting y'all know.
Thank you guys once again for tuning in to another episode of TFG. My name's Alanta once again, and you can find me on the IG streets at Alanta_Elson, ALCIN. And as always, this is a great episode. We touch on a lot of things of what's going on in our lives, but just being full transparency with Lovely on her semi-rant. But quite honestly, it's just finding real peace within yourself and your spending habit, because most times it's not about the money in itself. It's about you using the tool of money to kind of fill a void that you're not identifying. So that's what we're just trying to counter and trying to identify within everyone. So if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Leave a comment or just DM us individually of, are you tuning into the podcast? What kind of things would you like to hear? Some topics, or even if you're checking out the FinCon that's going to be in September in Orlando, Florida. So let us know if you're coming to the conference. So that's going to be really crazy and really nice to see everyone physically for the first time in a long time. Lovely, where can they find you?
Always Lovely Mardellis, first and last name anywhere, from LinkedIn to Instagram and TikTok, and lovelymardellis.com. That's where my stuff lives. But thank you guys so much for this episode. I'm so sorry. Today was just okay. All right. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If I'm giggling and laughing, just know that my co-hosts are just having a blast on screen that you guys cannot see. That of course make me look like I'm crazy.
It's like that little circle. You thought this was a dance? It's like a TikTok dance.
Oh my goodness. But you guys, thank you so much for listening to the ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to podcasts with us, of course. And FinCon is coming soon. And please make sure if you're attending, please do your COVID test before. We do not want to catch it. Thank you and so much. We do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Financial Griot podcast, powered by the Wealth Builders Collective.